and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilperson Gardner.
Here.
Councilperson LaPlante. Here. Councilperson Lindsey.
Here.
Supervisor Gardner.
Here. Need the acceptance of the minutes of the special meeting. Without any corrections?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I'll second.
Next meeting, I wasn't here before, so I'll abstain.
Yeah. You get to the roll call?
Oh, you do roll call vote on that? Okay. Sorry. Supervisor Gardner.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilperson Gardner.
I'll abstain.
And Councilperson.
Yes.
Okay, then next is a regular board meeting, March 12th. Are there any additions or deletions in those minutes? Get a motion?
I'll move.
A second.
Roll call
Councilperson Gardner.
Yes.
Councilperson LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilperson Lindsey.
Yes.
Supervisor Gardner.
vote. Abstain.
You get the year, this is.
On a special emergency meeting, 3rd, 27th, 15th, is there any additions or deletions to the minutes? Need a motion?
On with those.
I'll second.
Supervisor Gardner.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Councilperson LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilperson Gardner.
I'll abstain.
And Councilperson Lindsey.
Yes.
I just want to say that it was nice getting them ahead so we could read them before.
In the order of business, I'd like to welcome Ron Jackson to speak about the Wolfboro Essex EMS Incorporated.
Thank you,
Ron,
Mr.
Ron,
Gardner.
come up front.
Sure.
Oh, I forgot to make the announcement that Sharon is videotaping him.
Good. I got my good side towards you. We were here about 3 years ago when Sharon was supervisor. We got a resolution from the board supporting the formation moving forward, Willsboro Essex EMS. We ran into a few roadblocks along the way, but we're kind of by them now. And we're hoping to get to the Mountain Lakes EMS to change our CN over. If not the end of this month, then in June. So, but the time we get it done is probably going to be about a half year. So I'm thinking we're going to make it this year. I don't see any reason we won't. Do you, Becky? Okay, so, but when we talked to the people out at the CON committee, Mary Jane Connors said since there's been a change of supervisors, it's been a couple of years, we should get another letter of support from the town boards. So that's why we're here tonight, to ask for support for that. The main reason we're doing what we're doing is so that we can start billing insurance. E-Town has about the same volume that we got about the same volume that we have. Well, we're probably a little higher now with the old school in place, but they make $70,000 to $80,000 a year on insurance billing. We can't get any of it because we're both, Willsboro and Essex are part of the fire departments, and New York state law doesn't allow fire department-based ambulance squads to bill insurance. I cannot tell you why. And when I talked to everybody from Betty Little and Teresa and all, oh, that's easy to change. Well, it's not easy to change, and they haven't been able to change it, and I don't know if they ever will. I think it's the paid squads donate good money to certain key people, and they won't let it go through. So by separating from the fire departments and creating a separate entity, Willsboro Essex EMS, nonprofit corporation, then we can bill insurances. So it's gonna take a while to get up and billing and get everything set up. I don't think we'll get anything done on that till the end of the year. But that's gonna pay a good share of our expenses when we get there. Even when later on, we end up having to hire an EMT. Right now, during the daytime, basically Frank and I are there for the majority of the calls during the day, and Frank's 72, I'm 67, so I don't need to tell you that's a deteriorating situation. But eventually we will be there. This is certainly gonna help by getting that $70,000, $80,000 to reduce what it's gonna cost taxpayers. But I would be amiss if I didn't tell you that I think down the line, whether it's 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, you're gonna have paid firefighters as well as EMS, and I suspect the public safety budget probably will be pretty close to what the highway budget is. I'd like to think it's farther down the road, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. The question is when. All the fire departments, the number of personnel is falling. So,
No, they already took it.
okay, they got it, good. So anyway, that's what we're here to ask for a letter of support, so we can move forward with that, get established, and we'll be back in September and talk about next year's budget, because we're gonna need some. The way we're going to handle the budget is exactly like a school district or anything else. It's for the two towns, so if you have a $100,000 house in Willsboro and a $100,000 house in Essex, it's gonna be based on the assessment, you'll pay the same amount. Willsboro pay, if I remember right, it's like 3.5 times more than Essex. That's what the appraised valuation is. So Willsboro will be paying substantially more. They get a lot more calls. So that's the way it's based on, that's the way they want you to do, is base it on the population. So everybody pays the same per $1,000 assessed valuation for support. But the biggest thing is getting where we can bill and get that 70, 80,000 to reduce all these costs down. And hopefully we won't have to hire anybody for a while, and we'll be able to save up and get a little in reserves. That's what I'm hoping. But if I fall off another ladder, we'll be in trouble. So anyway, that's what we're here for. And if there's any questions, Frank and Becky left, but Craig is here. Between us, hopefully we can answer.
Is this gonna be, an EMS district,
No,
Willsboro and Essex, or?
no, much more complicated. We looked at that, much more complicated to go that way. We went the same way that E-Town and most of the squads are. They're non-for-profit corporation, and they come to the two towns, just like the Patty goes to E-Town and Lewis. This is what our budget needs to be this year. We got so much insurance, and this is what we need from the two towns. If it was a district, we'd have the separate billing, but it'd be a much longer process. You'd have to establish each district separately and go through the whole referendum and everything in both towns, and then go through it again in order to combine. Where we are now, we've got all the paperwork done. We'd be starting at square one. We'd be 2 years out, at least, if we went with the district. I don't know of any ambulance districts in the North Country.
Plattsburgh.
Well, yeah. That's a city, but yeah.
No, the towns, between Morrisonville and CDPH,
They've got a
they
district?
have the
Okay.
ambulance district.
And how does that differ other than financially?
Well, it's completely different. Instead of us electing commissioners for it, it would be a public ballot, just like the fire commissioners are. You'd have a separate election for that, and you'd vote on the budget for what the taxes are gonna be at that same time. Those are the biggest difference for it, but the biggest thing is what we have to go through to set it up. Much more complicated for the district than it is for we've already got our not-for-profit. We've already formed that. We've got that behind us, so basically it's just finishing up our paperwork and we'll be there. That would be thrown out the window and would be right back to square one. We'd have to hire lawyers and all that in order to get it into a district. It's much more complicated.
Is there any advantage to the EMS district?
The only advantage for you is that you wouldn't be any money coming out of your budget. It would be a separate budget voted on by the people, just like the fire district budget is voted for the people. So it wouldn't come out of your budget, it'd be the same taxpayers paying for it, but it'd come out of the district that would have their election of commissioners, and they would have the budget up every year, and the people have to vote on it every year. The biggest advantage, it would save money out of your budget, because obviously, this is a price you haven't had in there. Sharon had it in for a while, but then when we didn't move forward with it, she took it out. So it'll be an additional expense that you don't have right now. That would be the advantage to you, but it would be at least 2 years out
Right.
and a lot more money to get it set up to go that way. That's why we did the same as E-Town Lewis.
Right now, Ronnie, who owns like, ambulance and that?
The fire commissioners,
Yeah. So
And
how would that be turned?
they will turn it over to the new districts.
Would you still have to go, they couldn't just turn it over to you, can they?
Yep.
That's-
We didn't think you could, but we found out they can. They can turn it directly over.
How much do you anticipate we have to put in our budget?
Well, I don't have it here.
Well, just,
I'm gonna say, probably 14,000, I'm guessing.
No, just, no.
Yeah,
ballpark.
ballpark.
Okay.
Which would be reduced on the fire district number 1 taxes.
Right,
You
But
can't
that
speak-
doesn't
you can't
help
speak
them,
about- no, you can't
because
speak
it's
about
coming out of
district.
their budget, not the fire commission. It will reduce the fire cost for the fire district, but it's gonna increase because it's coming out of your budget. Right now, we get money from the fire commissioners. That'll stop. In fact, we pay the commissioners 5,000 in both towns to rent the bays where we're gonna keep the ambulance. Pay for the insurance, the heat, electricity, and all that. So they'll be getting an income from us instead of helping pay the expenses. So the fire taxes should go down in both towns, but the town's taxes will go up about the same amount the fire districts are going down. Just coming out of your budget, because we can't get it from the commissioners. Once we separate as a separate corporation, we have to go to the towns.
How would that relate to, the tax cap? Us adding that to our budget?
It's gonna be a problem.
It would be.
It's gonna be a problem. Yeah, maybe they have special one-time exemption for new expenses, I don't know. They didn't have that when I was in, so I don't know how it does, but it could be a problem. For 1 year, after that, then it is what it is.
Just curious.
But the overall taxes for the people pay ought to be pretty close to the same, because they'll be paying less than fire tax, but yours definitely will be going up. And Willsboro will go up substantially more. Because they're about 3.5 times, I used to know exactly, but I don't remember now, but it's about 3.5 times the assessed valuation in Willsboro as it is to Essex. Mark, any questions?
Nope. They'll cover.
Brian, anything more?
That's all.
Claire? Bob?
Just, how is, I mean, we're hearing from you, is Wolfsboro getting the same thing as what we're getting at the top?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. I don't know when their meeting is, but we'll be there for their meeting. Same thing.
I'd like to just, I have no problem with
Yep,
giving you the letter. I just wanna make sure that we're all in.
yep, no, we'll be at their meeting too and explain it. We've been there, like we've been here a couple times and we've been there a couple times and we've had meetings at the firehouse, we've had meetings at the Grange and so we've had a bunch of meetings. It's nothing new at this point. It's just,
Right.
now we're gonna try to get it finished and get it going before.
Right.
While we still can.
That would help us in our compliance for shared services too, wouldn't it?
It will.
Yeah.
That's shared service, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. Any question from the audience, anybody? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wonder if there's any money available for that shared service.
Tax credits or.
Just asking.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of twist on that.
Well, I'm sure.
A lot of spin. dropped it back to 1%, you know, it was gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. Back to 1, whatever, you know. It'll change year to year, as far as I can see what they're telling us. I can't,
I can't even,
hard to guess on what they are gonna do.
no, that'll be a year, yeah.
Yeah.
And that should.
Anyways, moving on, I'd like to welcome the public comment, and I know one person who wants to speak is Donna. Donna.
Thank you, Supervisor Gardner and town board members, and Donna Sonnet from Cupola House here in town.
Okay.
And I'm speaking on behalf of the Essex Initiatives Commerce Committee, and I actually didn't think I'd be able to come tonight, so I composed a letter, and I'll give you a copy. But I am gonna read the letter, if that's okay. Supervisor Gardner and town board members, purpose of this letter is to provide information and clarification. The Essex Initiatives Commerce Committee, briefly known this year as CEVE, has functioned as advocate for Essex area businesses since 1993. Over the years, we've provided cooperative advertising campaigns and published business and informational brochures, published a village map created by Sid Couchy, and co-sponsored and supported many Essex events. One of those events is the 4th of July, and we wanted to acknowledge and thank the members of the Essex Fire and Rescue Departments who've done a wonderful job with this event for many, many years, and it was always a terrific success in providing the extended community with a proper celebration of our country's independence and freedom. And this holiday also provides local businesses, community organizations, and churches with the opportunity to realize a small but important upsurge of commerce. This year marks a deserved break for our fire department since Willsboro will host the event, and also Westport will have a full schedule of activities that weekend as well. And although we will miss having the parade and fireworks in Essex, businesses will be open as usual during the weekend. We all know that there will be boaters at the marinas and restaurants, and folks will be walking off the ferry to spend the day here, and motorists will be stopping by looking for lodging, food, shopping, and art galleries. And we feel that a strong Essex business presence that day will present a vibrant picture of an extended geographic area that includes rather than competes with Willsboro and Westport. And we will certainly provide the public with activity information relative to our neighboring towns. I also just wanted to mention some of the things that will be going on here on July 4th this year. One is this will be the first annual Red, White, and Blue Essex weekend. This is going to feature some decorative efforts of the shop owners and property owners with American flags and bunting displays throughout the town, and hopefully the town hall will want to participate with that too. And some of the existing businesses here will have little sidewalk sales and displays in front of their shops too, weather permitting. The second thing that will be happening this year is the 15th annual Firecracker Fun Run that will be held Saturday morning. It's sponsored by New Health, which is located right up at the corner of Blockhouse Road and Route 22. And last year there were more than 60 runners that participated in that. The third thing that will be happening is the first annual 4th of July bike ride. I don't know a lot of details about that, but it's going to be organized by Louis Comeau and Bruce Boysen. The annual patriotic hymn sing at St. John's Church will be happening. I'm not sure what time that's scheduled for either, but that's something that they do every year. The Adirondack Art Association is planning to sponsor a children's art workshop that day, and the annual Carol Williams organ concert will be at the Essex Community Church at 7 p.m. And we're hoping that these events and any other events that come to fruition will help to round out another great 4th of July weekend in Essex and our neighboring towns. And I know there are people who are calling and planning visits to Essex now, so I thought that would be good for you to have, a list of things that actually are happening here in order to communicate that with them, and that's all. It's on behalf of Essex Initiatives Commerce. Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak?
Just if we could, I'd appreciate if you could get a letter from you so I can get it off the Mountain Lakes, a letter of support.
Give it to you tomorrow?
Don't need it tomorrow, next
Oh,
week
okay.
is fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ed, I'm sorry, I don't see on the agenda an update on the water project. Maybe I missed it, but can
We're
you,
still in negotiations with it.
I'm sorry, with the
We're
door,
still in negotiations with it, with the contract, so,
with the Hickory Hill property.
you're right.
Is there any additional work being done on the project at this time?
Only the negotiation.
Okay.
We gotta have that contract and we're negotiating on that. Is there any other comment from the floor? If not, we'll move on. Move the resolutions.
Resolution 37, 2015, adopted March 12, 2015, needs an amendment. When I went to file this information with Sue at Real Property, our dates were different than what we had in our schedule for the term limits. So this will extend Jonathan White's term to the Zoning Board of Appeals to September 2019. So we need a resolution for that.
I'll move that.
You accept that, Jeff?
Oh my God.
You don't already choose.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll second.
You need a roll
Roll
call.
call.
Supervisor Gardner,
Yes.
Councilperson Garvey,
Yes.
Councilperson Lapine,
Yes.
Councilperson Rizzi.
Yes.
Do you want me to just go through them, or?
What's it, the amendment or the resolutions? Yeah, one at a time, just go through them. Here you go.
Well, I thought that you wanted to change it
We
before.
were gonna do another one first.
Yeah, okay, yes. F, the resolution to fill the limits for the term of Harold McDougal.
Resolution 45, 2015 is being made to appoint James LaForest to serve out the unexpired term of Harold McDougal's and December 31st, 2015.
Is there any discussion on this?
It's 45. Keep going, keep going.
The letters on the back.
Yeah. We were running.
Let's wait, wait, wait.
The paper.
See that?
We were waiting for the paper to come in.
That's fine.
This is just for the length of the term, which would be end in, this year, December 31st, 12 p.m. Or until somebody else is, that'll be elected to that term. Yeah, Jim's letters in here.
Yep, it's right on the thing.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to appoint Jim for the remainder of Harold's term.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Supervisor Gardner,
Yes.
Councilperson Derby,
Yes.
Councilperson LeBlanc,
Yes.
Councilperson Rizzo.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Jim's also on the ZBA, and I don't think that you can hold a position on the zoning board of appeals while also being a town.
All right,
board.
well, we'll check on that, but like I say, I'm sure that Jim will resign from the zoning
Okay.
board of appeals.
Lucky him.
Yes, I really would like to point out that in my letter, I pointed out that I will not seek any further term. I'll just serve off this term until December 31st. It's like, I quoted General Tecumseh Sherman saying, and if nominated, I will not accept, and if elected, I will not serve. And thank you very much.
So grab your chair and come up here.
Yeah, that is, Patty, can you give me,
Yeah, this one,
Oh, we have to get sworn in first.
You wanna
Sorry
swear
about
in?
that. I forgot. We'll remember, Brian. I'm gonna remember that. I'm just like, take the vote. Pay the bills last time. Okay.
Jim, would you like us to accept your resignation from the ZBA?
Yes, I would. However, I seem to recall we've had this problem
isn't-
one other time.
But isn't one an elected and one's an appointed?
I think that that's,
Isn't there a difference there?
check into it.
yes.
Well, we'll check and see. You can't hold two elected,
That's correct.
but
You could hold, remember, Claire, you and I were on several committees,
right,
and,
right.
but I'm perfectly willing to
Right.
resign.
Right.
In fact, I'd like
I feel you, man.
to. Not really. I get to sit next to Emily.
Well, you can come on, we'll give you the, our town clerk will give you the, deputy town clerk will give you the oath of office.
Am I supposed to need?
I'll get the sword.
I was gonna say, we need
That'd
Do
be
you wanna just
concerned
read
with
it instead
We
of
need
me
the sword.
repeating after me?
Yes.
Okay.
I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of town councilor according to the best of my ability.
Yes, sir.
Do I sit now?
I'll go on stand.
Johnny Hancock right there. Alright, we're going backwards to 44, 2014, adopted March 13, 2014, it's an amendment. Resolution 44, 2014 is being amended to include the following: to end contract with Hiscock and Barclay of Albany and to begin contract with William H. Kissel for the water capital project source wells dependent on approval and accepted by William H. Kissel.
We got a thing from the DFC saying they just wanted it basically done over. They didn't have the copy of it. They're
Who's that now? Who?
DFC. They're our financing
They didn't,
for the water, capital water.
they didn't have a copy of,
Well, they didn't on the thing that it changed from Barclay to that, to Kissel. They just needed that and billed it to, just make it so we can pay you. Or get the money back.
any kind of contract with him?
There's no contract with us, this time, he's drawn up. He just, this would be the contract, the resolution with it, as far as I know.
Well,
We named him as our,
Yeah, I know that, but I mean,
it's just something, just a technical thing with EFC, as far as I know.
right, well, normally a contract would spell out what they're doing and.
Right. But that's,
I don't have any of that, 'cause I don't know what we're agreeing to, really. You know what I mean?
Making him the official attorney instead
yeah,
of.
that's all you're
our-
doing, you're making him the official attorney for the capital water project. You have to have him.
Because see, we had this other one that was on March 13th. That we did.
Right.
So what was wrong with this one that we did?
Kathy would know more, I can find out. If you don't wanna do it, you can table it.
No, I'm just trying to find more information, exactly what we're doing.
It's exactly what we did before, and it's just,
Because I got two of them.
I don't think it's, I know that that's what it's for, is for EFC. They, the Environmental Finance Company, Corporation.
Is he on a paid retainer or he just gets
No,
assigned?
he's not yet, he's gonna be. You know, he'll be on the retainer. Or that, just this. He's not, we don't have, you know, a town attorney. We had an attorney for the town, is the way we put it.
Okay.
And we can hire anybody that we want for different things.
So
But
he'll-
DFC requires us to have him specifically for the capital water project.
So what we did last month wasn't correct,
Oh, this is last year.
or last year?
Yeah,
So what we did last year wasn't correct?
well, it might have been correct, but it wasn't sent in, we couldn't, I don't know if Kathy found, this was back, and everything was confusing there with,
I'm just trying to
we had
understand what's
Leanne and everything, so.
going on.
Yeah, because see, we had this, you have a copy, don't you, Mark?
Yeah.
Next page. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with that either.
It looks like it's basically the same, and I don't know if it would,
I think it's the wording of the capital water project source wells, that's the
Oh,
distinguishing.
that wasn't in there?
No.
The resolution
No,
of
it
twenty
wasn't,
fourteen
because
was
this is
for
talking about zoning.
zoning,
This is the zoning one.
and it's not for
No,
the,
44 is talking about William Kissel.
yes, but for zoning and not for the water
45
project,
is
so this
zoning.
cleans it up.
Okay, no,
And puts
40,
it for the water
no,
project.
no, 44 is,
So this is the only thing that covers.
That's the only thing that's different, is this, the water capital project source wells.
we didn't have that wording in this.
No.
Okay,
All right,
Cleans it up.
okay.
Sorry.
that's okay, everything we have.
This one, what is this one?
I don't know why she stuck 45 in there, I really don't. I think she just grabbed it.
I don't think we need to do 45, do we?
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. just that one there.
Okay.
So are you still making a motion, Brian?
Yes.
Do you need a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Supervisor Gardner,
Yes,
Councilperson Garvey,
Yes.
Councilperson LaFawn,
Yes,
Councilperson Risley,
Yes.
Councilperson LaFleur.
Yes.
So Donna attached a letter to explain the differences on the two abstracts.
yeah, that was the one I couldn't explain to you guys last month.
It was a highway fund.
Right. explain it, so.
Right.
How come you couldn't explain that, Glenn?
Because I'm not mechanical, that's why I couldn't explain it.
Oh,
No.
That makes sense, and puts it like that.
Need a motion to
Yeah.
accept the revised, I'll
Yeah.
make that motion.
I'll second.
do a roll call, but that.
Motion made. Let me put this up here. And who seconded? Roll call vote, Supervisor Gardner,
Yes,
Councilperson Derby,
Yes.
Councilperson Klein,
Yes.
Councilperson Ridley,
Yes.
Councilperson LaFors. Resolution 43, of the town board of the town of Essex, and at a meeting of the town board of the town of Essex held on April 9, 2015. We need a resolution, whereas the town has been requested by New York RSCA 2 Cellular Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless to enter into an option to lease and a lease of a portion of its water tower for telecommunication purposes. Whereas the town does not need or use the portion of the water tower proposed to be optioned and leased, and whereas the proposed use of the portion of the water tower by the New York RSA 2 Cellular Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless will not interfere with the town's own use of the tower. Now therefore be it resolved that the town enter into the option and lease which are attached to this resolution with New York State RS2A Cellular Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless. This resolution is subject to a permissive referendum.
This is just an option to lease it, it's not,
alright, we're gonna.
it's not a lease.
Not a lease
It's an
until we
option.
get, once they start, we get 2,000 to start here. Look at that, that's what their option cost them.
Costs more to print this lease up.
You don't know how many times this thing has been back and forth. And,
So what's that? I missed what'd you say about the 2,000, but?
that's just allow them to have that option.
Option two.
This, all it says is,
Now, the rest of the leases, I don't know.
It's there, this right here, right?
Right.
But you're
And then you, if they do it, it'll be 25,000 a year, once they put their cell things on their tower.
Question
And then at 3% a year increase, that was negotiated, Sharon negotiated that, which was good.
so we're not approving the lease, we're just approving the option to lease? Is that?
That's the way
Why
I
not?
understand it. I have a question. By approving this option for them to lease, does it tie us up as far as leasing to any other cellular company?
No, they can still go to somebody else, Sprint's on there,
Okay.
they pay us
So there's
23,000 a year, plus every year 3%, I guess. That all goes to the #1 water district, that water district, or that mine. Same thing with this, it will.
So once we grant the option,
Right.
they still come back and we actually have to approve the contract at a later date?
Yeah.
So, I understand.
If they exercise that option, I guess that would
Right.
be the way.
Oh, okay,
They're gonna pay us $2,000 just for their option. And then if they pick up the option, then we have to.
and is there a time frame involved, or I mean, how long is the option for?
I read 2 years.
Does it say?
I thought I read 2 years.
I did
I
tell you
read
the
it
truth, I don't
down.
remember.
30 days?
They
It
have to make the
says the
payment within
foregoing
30
payment will
days.
be made within 30 days.
12 months.
Here it is, 12 months.
Year, okay. Well, it says allow them to be extended for an additional 12 months, so apparently it's 2 years.
Well, then they have to pay us 2,000 more.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, down at the last paragraph on the first page.
And has Kissel been over this, or?
Yeah, several.
There's no limit as to how many attachments we can have in the water tower, is there?
No.
I mean, so, several other, remember, several
Right,
years
we have
ago,
a Sprint Nextel on it now.
yeah, and the contract is similar to the one that we have with,
Right,
with
just a
Sprint.
little more right now. I mean, for them, if they put their cells on there,
Here.
it's a little more. As far as the interest or charge every year, that increases 3%, either one. It goes up. I don't know how many times this contract's been back and forth between me, to Kissel, to Mike Orchard,